Hello gamers and welcome back to another buff breakdown. It's been a while since I've been able to say that, but man are we back with a freaking banger. I might be a bit biased here because these are buffs today that I'm very excited for, as they are characters I definitely care for, so wow, I'm just like, I guess still happy birthday to me on a very big delay. But yeah, this is awesome. And let's not even begin to talk about, the new servant that's gonna come out on Wednesday. So you'll see that then. But yeah, we got brand new buffs for OG Okita Saber, okay? And it is an MP buff. Oh my god. And then we have a skill buff to Yamanami Keisuke. Yes, indeed. One of the weaker members of the Shinsengumi just got buffed as well for the first time. So we have a lot to discuss here. And I think I'll start with the Okita MP first. So let's see what we have with the new buff. So her MP previously is very simple. It's a 3-hit single target quick MP. So before anything, she just did damage that, ignores defense, which is awesome. Always cool to have that utility up there. And then after damage based on overcharge, she did a minus 30% defense down on the target for 3 turns on base, scaling up to 50%. So while it is an insanely basic MP, both of the effects in it are still good. Granted, the defense down is after damage, but considering how spammable her MP is, it was never really a huge issue, and 30% on base is actually on the very high end of defense downs on MP anyway, so considering again how often she could spam the MP, you could definitely stack this defense down pretty well from just her alone. So I never really hated her MP, and her having pretty good numbers meant that she, especially if her quick up skill was active, she could even do really high damage with her MP. So it wasn't really a huge issue. I always still wanted to see an MP for her, but I'll be honest here, I was actually kind of hoping they would buff Okita Alter's MP instead, the OG one, because I think she needs it more. But let's see what they did with Saber now as well with the buff. So everything that was there remains unchanged, okay? So she still deals damage first, that has the ignore defense, but now with a higher modifier, of course, due to the buff. The defense down on the overcharge is the same, it's still after damage, same scaling and everything. But then we have 2 new lines. Also now scaling with overcharge, 2 new effects. She applies a 10% minus quick res down on the target for 3 turns, scaling up to 30% on max overcharge, and a crit damage resistance down for 3 turns. I'm still not exactly sure how these numbers work for crit damage resistance. We had this with some of our new servants as well, and I'm still not sure how it works, but at least the effect, I know what it does. The effect means that the target now takes more crit damage. So it's basically a crit damage buff, but reversed. But if someone knows how exactly the scaling works, do let me know in the comments. But just TLDR, crits will now definitely hurt more. I want to say on base, it's probably not going to be an insane boost, but again, remember, the MP is pretty spammable, and especially now, granted, again, this is after damage as well, this quick res down shred also helps with spamming the MP, because while the crit damage one, this is only for increasing damage, you will not get more gains from your crits with this, unlike someone like Kazura drop, right? You will still get more damage out of this, but this quick rush down, this actually does increase your gains as well. Not only do your quick cards do more damage on the target with this, they also give you more MP gain and also more star gain. So it helps her spam her MP even more, which is great. And it's 3 turns. So while this, the base number isn't super high, it is a 3-turn debuff. So that's awesome. And again, they all scale with overcharge. So I want to say overcharge is actually a very solid effect on Okita now, because these are all nice debuffs for sure. So yeah, I would maybe look into some overcharge CEs or supports or whatever at this point. It could be worthwhile. So previously on our Saber tier list from this year, I had Okita placed on a flat A, when with this, she's at least easily an A+. There could even be arguments to say she's now top tier, because again, her MP was already pretty good, capable of fairly high damage. But I'm not going to jump the gun yet, but this is a very solid buff, and I'm still very happy with this, even if I would have probably preferred to have seen an MP buff to OG Okita Alter instead. But yeah, I still love every single Okita. You guys hopefully know that, because, she's one of the reasons I got into the game, so seeing more buffs for Okita or anything done with her in a positive way, just awesome to see, so I'm still very happy with this. Now, I'm not just an Okita simp, okay? I do love all the Shinsengumi members as well. If you didn't see my reaction to this event as well, check that video. But yeah, that means I'm also very happy with Yamanami getting buffed, because before this, he was like a support saber that was pretty bad. And even with pairing him with Shinsengumi, he wasn't even all that amazing. You were probably still better off running other supports, because for those that don't know, he has a couple of effects that give more boost to Shinsengumi trait allies. But even then again, I think you were probably better off running some other supports. But I already read this buff, so I know what this does, and I can now confidently say that this actually might give him some use cases. So let's see what we have here for his skill buff. So his second skill, previously on a 6-turn cooldown, he himself got 30% arts and quick for 3 turns, and then a 20% battery. So this was by far his weirdest skill, because all other skills he has, like the first one, it's an AoE attack up MP gaining at stars, great supporting skill, basic but good. Third skill gives party evade, heals, then removes dots. Again, just a flat out support skill on the defensive side. But this was always kind of weird to me, that the card types were only for himself, because he's not really a DPS. There are some wacky solos you can do, but it's not really legit. And then the 20% battery was just awkward, because 20% is not a good number. If that's your only battery in your kit, it's just an awkward number, because even with the pen, that means you only get 40%. So it doesn't really mesh well together with batteries from other servants or CEs for the most part. So 20% is always awkward if that's the only battery. So again, it being selfish and that battery definitely made me dislike this skill. But let's see what they did now. So now on the same 6-turn cooldown, unfortunately the card types are still for himself only the same 30% each, but now the self battery is 30%. Love to see it. Again, that's the better number. And then we got more, 2 new lines. Allies besides him now get 30% MP damage for 3 turns. Ooh, and then allies besides him also get 20% battery. So this is awesome. He now fixes his own issue by having 30% instead of 20 for self, and then his allies now get this nice 20% spread. That is very solid. 20% spread is still pretty rare among 4-star supports, so I would still say it's an amazing thing to have. And this MP buff was surprising to me, and it's a huge number too. 30%, especially from a 4-star, is big. It's actually big. The way this skill would have been absolutely amazing if they made the card types AoE as well, but them being 30%, considering they did all these other changes, I can kind of see why they didn't do that. But regardless, I would say this skill is now amazing, especially for a 4-star support. This could easily work on a 5-star support too. I'm not even joking. It is a very solid skill, and now by far his best skill. He might not do the most things still, like his MP is still like kind of whatever, but honestly, I think he's good now. I think he's actually legit. Maybe he's still the best with Shinsengumi members due to, like, for instance, the MP giving this crit damage to Shinsengumi allies, but I wanna say you might be able to use him kinda anywhere now as a support. Am I going crazy here? I think this is legit. Like, this is actually very legit. He still has some competition, like Lanling, for instance, on the Saber side, or Lakshmi Bai, but I don't know. I might actually like him more than Lakshmi Bai now, unless you need the specific utility from her, but that's another story. But as a generalist support, because he's not really tied to any card types, these being for himself only, I think he's good. This is very good. So we had him on a pretty unfortunate C tier, which honestly was kind of maybe a fairly generous ranking to begin with. But with this, I think I'm gonna up him quite a bit. Am I going crazy if I want to put him into A tier? Am I going crazy here? I had Lanling on A+, so you know what? Call me crazy, but I am moving this man into A+, or a flat A. I'm moving him into A. I might be jumping the gun here, but this is a meaningful and big buff. Very, very solid buff. Like, this actually does make a big difference for him being not pickable to actually being pickable. And not just pickable, seemingly pretty good too among the 4-star supports. So yeah, this is a really nice glow up, at least in my opinion. So there you go. Wow, crazy stuff. I'm so happy with this. Again, as a Shinsenkumi simp and an Okita simp, so it doubles down for me being very happy about this. And not only are the characters great, the characters I really like that got buffs, it's also the buffs themselves are good. Like, they're both very strong buffs as well that actually do make an impact for both of them, especially for Yamanami. So yeah, I'm just very happy with this. Awesome. And again, I can't wait for Wednesday because one of my most anticipated servants is finally being released. So yeah, I'm eating good with this event. There's a reason I love Gura Gura, but especially this time, it's just amazing. So there you go, that's the buff breakdown. If you enjoyed this video, do me a solid and press the thumbs up button. It really helps out. And do subscribe not to miss out on future videos, because again, on Wednesday, and maybe even before that, you might see some content, but especially on Wednesday, I'll hopefully be a very happy FGO player. We'll see how the gacha goes first, I guess. Shout out to my patrons on the screen right now, and Stooge for being a big YouTube tier member supporter, and have a great rest of your Sunday. See you in the next video, and a bye-bye.